You guys
Totally.
are playing two dates for a festival called Froth and Fury.
Right? Yeah.
Have you heard of it before?
Can't really say that I have like fully. I've heard the name definitely, but just because I live in Iceland, so like what's happening in Australia is like pretty far from what's on my radar, or like
It's just,
yeah, it's
it's very
just
much
like
like that. It's still
yeah,
a
it's
newer one.
oh really? Okay, okay, but it seems like really cool. Like the lineup is very like it's very broad, carries like kind of like essence of everything a little bit, which I think is very cool. So I'm very excited for
100%.
it, definitely.
What kind of beers are you hoping you're going to get on your Froth and Fury rider?
What kind of beers? I don't really drink too much, but something interesting. I guess something that's like particular to the area or the country, something like that. You can only get there. That would be cool. Like maybe not
Oh,
Foster's, something different.
not possible.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed you get like 4X gold or something disgusting.
Okay, fair enough.
It's actually
Hopefully
delicious.
that. Yeah, definitely, definitely something fun, something fun.
So out
Absolutely.
of your Froth and Fury dates, I think it was your Perth one you're playing with, oh my goodness, Fit for an Autopsy and Nail Bomb and Terminal Sleep.
Oh, cool.
Do you have any like favorite artists that you've toured with?
Um, well, off of those bands you just listed, I have done like one show with Fit for an Autopsy with one of my other bands. We were supposed to do a tour together, but it got canceled due to COVID. So we only managed to do one show of the tour, then we had to fly home. But so I've met those guys briefly. They're really nice, fantastic to hang out with and such. So it'll be fun to see them again. Among the bands that we've toured with, I mean, ARCHSPIRE is definitely up there. Those guys are really funny, and we like kind of operate on the same wavelength with most things. Musically, we're like relatively close to each other, I would say. Both bands are obnoxiously fast and very brutal. Uh, but definitely I would say probably them. Uh, we're gonna be heading out with Cattle Decapitation like in about a month or so. So I'm excited for that also. Like I've met those guys here and there throughout the festival runs that we've done, but never toured with them fully. That's gonna be fun.
I'm a I'm a massive Cattle Decapitation fan. They're amazing. So that'll be a good one.
They're so cool. Definitely, definitely fantastic band. Absolutely. We're very excited for that. Definitely. Mhm.
So before Aborted,
Yeah.
what did you have any other bands?
Yeah, so I had two bands that are still happening. One of them called In Misère, which used to be on Nuclear Blast as well. And that band actually toured with Aborted for like a short summer run. And then I also have a band called Ophidian Eye, which is like a technical death metal band that's on Season of Mist. So I have those two. Mm.
What kind of music do you generally go towards playing? Like
What kind of like
what do you prefer to play? Like obviously like Aborted, you're going like old school death metal with like
right,
grind elements and stuff like that. And then you've got
right,
your tech death.
right, right. Well, I mean, tech death is really, really fun to listen to, but it kind of sucks to play, you know. It isn't really like giving. It's just like because it's really just like fast and it like relies on everything being accurate and correct all the time. Not that like other realms of metal or music don't require the same like in broad terms, but it's just like so reliant on it with the tech death because everything is under scrutiny. But I would say that Aborted like blends those elements all together kind of perfectly for my tastes because it's engaging enough for the crowd to just like be able to kind of enjoy it without being feeling like they have to locked in on some like one essence of the band or something. It's just like fun music they know. The music is also just pretty hard hitting overall, so it is very like kind of easy to get into when you play live in my opinion, obviously I'm biased since I'm in the band, but I think it's kind of the perfect band for like a live performance as far as death metal goes, because it kind of mixes those elements very kind of like tastefully. which is kind of fun, a funny word to use for a very grotesque metal, you know. But that's kind of how I feel about it, at least. So it would have to be aborted, I think.
I 100% agree. Aborted, like watching Aborted live is very engaging, but it's freaking hilarious. Like the outro, Sandstorm.
Right,
Like
right.
who was like, oh, Sandstorm is going to be a phenomenal outro to
Hmm.
finish our sets.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I don't know exactly how that came to be, but I do like we were starting to kind of try to venture out the box a little bit to choose our changeover music and figure out the outros and stuff. Um, Honestly, I think it was like a spur of the moment thing. We probably like heard it just like on the radio or something when we were driving to a venue. That happened a few times. Like we heard some Britney songs in Walmart and just like this would be a very cool one for changeover. So like we added those to it was always like these kind of silly things. But I think if I'm not mistaken, one of the first times we did it was at Tech Fest in the UK. And I remember the reaction to it was just like crazy. It was like way more than like the set was great, don't get me wrong. But like when the that outro hit, that's when they really came alive. Which is quite funny. But you
It's
know,
to be fair, Sandstorm was kind of like a meme as well. So then
right,
like
right,
I
right.
saw when was it last year for Brutal Assault
Oh,
and
cool.
like
Yeah.
when it hit, I think it was the first time that I've seen you guys play where Sandstorm was outro. And I was just like,
Mhm.
what the fuck is this? Like this is the best finisher, especially like that time of the day. I'm like, I need this right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some pick me up. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I mean it works. It's worked for us so far. So I mean I don't really see any indicators of us not doing that anymore since it's fun for everyone involved. It really is. Definitely.
Yeah. So who does most of your writing and whatnot? How does your recording process go?
Um so actually like as a funny side note of that, you saw us at Brutal Salt last year, which is where
Yeah,
our producer proposed to his fiance, whom like records our albums and such. So it's kind of funny.
that's awesome. I love that
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
Was
Like a
was that
funny
the one that
tidbit.
was on stage?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes, I
yeah,
remember that fondly. That was so freaking sweet.
yeah. That was a fun thing to be able to do because he's from Denver, so he like flew all the way out to there to kind of engage in the European scene a bit, and yeah, managed to do that as well in front of thousands of people. So it was very cool.
That's
But
so sweet.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, so cool. But as far as the how the band operates, like creatively, I do most of the writing for the band. um we kind of get as we did the last album, we kind of got together in the studio a few days prior to starting recording it, and we kind of like finessed a few things and kind of went through everything to kind of just make sure the cohesion was there and that we were kind of all happy with everything. So yeah, I do most of it, and then we kind of adjust it a little bit altogether, which is a very kind of good way for us to do it, at least kind of has worked well for us so far.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Mhm.
saw, I think your old drummer used to do a lot of the writing. So does like
Right.
has the sound changed much, do you feel?
Um, well, if I'm correct, I think the band has released 12 full-length albums.
Yes,
So, when you're like at that point in time with a band, the sound is like kind of well established, you know?
very much so.
So like the kind of general kind of framework for how the band sounds and stuff is all there, you know? Um, I think obviously when you like bring someone else in whom has like a slightly different take on things, the sound it will change inevitably to some degree. But at least in my case, I've definitely tried to be mindful of that as well and not like stray too far from what the essence of the band and the general appeal of it is. But I've for sure had thrown some extra things in there. I think some of it's like a little maybe more like technically. focused, you know. It's maybe like a little more melodic in some parts, but not melodic in like a Swedish sense. More just like there's like more melodies, but they're not very pretty, you know.
A melody
So
is a melody.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I would say that it's like it's maybe a like the brutality is maybe like a little more intense also, you know. The band has like breakdowns that are heavier and stuff like that. Maybe like almost venturing into like slam territory sometimes.
Yeah,
But
100%.
yeah, but other than that, I definitely try to like kind of keep the framework of the band in mind and not kind of stray too far away from it. Just try to make the like because I do think that the band and how it sounds is like a very unique, identifiable, and like a good kind of like selection of things. So I think it's important to keep that intact for the most part, at least.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So who were your instrumental idols, or who were you trying to emulate when you first started?
When I first started, just like in music, playing guitar
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, at the time, it was probably like mostly bands from here, from Iceland, because we had a pretty strong hardcore and metal scene. So that was kind of my early inspirations, just seeing those bands around, being like notable figures in the music scene here. So that kind of spoke to me in quite a strong way. Um, but more like generally, I know that like the Smashing Pumpkins is my favorite band, for example. So that's kind of what I've always, I guess, been the most into. You know, that's kind of what my like fundamentals are based on, I should say.
yeah.
But other than that, like elsewhere, like a brother of a friend showed me Earth Crisis and Pantera and these bands when I was like 6. And at that time, I thought it was like very scary. But a year later or so, it was like the coolest thing. So, I mean, those
That's
bands are also integral, you know?
Earth Crisis as an intro band is absolutely insane.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's awesome.
thinking about it now, like it's kind of wild that he even like went for that. You know, seeing a 6-year-old today, you're like, that's very young, but okay, it's music.
Expose them young,
It's
get
all
them into
cool.
the good stuff.
Yeah,
All
exactly,
right.
exactly.